You sell now or wait until 2021? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heiser here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from news.com.au asking the question for those in Melbourne, should I sell my home now or wait until 2021? What do you think, everyone? Before we go even look at this article, what do you think? Now let's, just throw a few things out there. We've got JobKeeper propping up a whole lot of businesses, keeping people employed. Okay, so that's one warning sign, and that's slowly being tapered away, and we're starting to see, unemployment increase and more people go on welfare because of it. We also have mortgage, holidays that have been extended once again, and we even have the Commonwealth Bank saying they won't repossess any properties until September of 2021. Okay, there's another issue. We have the ability for businesses to trade while insolvent. Now, for those of you that have not been in business or don't appreciate how terrifying that is, say I did a job for someone and they stiffed me, which has happened in the past. What I can do is I can, get a lawyer, and then the lawyer can threaten to take them to court or threaten them to take them under the Australian, the Companies Act, essentially. A dodgy director trading while insolvent. You can go on. If they're knowingly trading while insolvent, you've got recourse against them personally as well. Sure, you've got to spend money on lawyers and all of that, but aside from that, that option's now, been thrown out the window. They've got 6 months to respond to you if you try and hit them up for not paying you. Yeah. For me, not as bad. I'm an architect. What are our overheads? Trace paper, software, electricity, premises, staff. For someone who's actually doing construction work, for a subby, for a builder, can you see how that can get really messy? Sticking tiles down. They have to lay out a lot to buy these materials to bring them in, and then they literally physically attach them to the building. You can't just tear them back off again. That really scares me. So what's going to happen once that disappears? Are we going to start seeing businesses go under? Because a number of businesses that are going insolvent, it's about 60% of where it should be. What does that tell you? Then we also have job seeker increased above its normal rate. There are discussions of lifting it up, but that is increased economic activity. So with all of those things, have I missed anything? Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything, because we don't know what else could happen. Do you think it's a good time to sell now or wait and sell next year? What happens when these support mechanisms start getting removed? People start getting the tap on the shoulder, "Oi mate, sell your house." What do you reckon? Maybe now we're seeing a dead cat bounce in property, falling, going up and then goes down. Or we could see a K-shaped economy. We'll have to see. So let's have a look. Rather than selling your home, a 2021 resolution, have a crack at getting a sold sticker up before Christmas. This is the advice of veteran real estate agent Chris Watson, director of Ray White Ringwood, who said several factors point to a post-lockdown seller's market. So there you go. This includes a backlog of buyer demand that has built up amid Melbourne's Stage 4 restrictions, during which crucial physical house inspections were banned. Buyers who had managed to retain employment and boost their savings during lockdown were keen to capitalize on the record low interest rate environment, but were being forced to compete for a reduced volume of housing stock, Mr. Watson said. This had driven remarkable results at recent auctions, including the $2.35 million sale of Ray Street in Fitzroy North, $751,000 above reserve. Okay, now, and then another one, 3.2 transaction on a popular Christmas lights house on Bellevue, Ivanhoe, 305 above reserves. Okay, guys, now, I know they do this. I know real estate agents are so shy and humble people. They don't like to brag. But the median house price for the average punter is $678,000. Okay, not everyone is going to be going out there and spending $2.3 million on a property. So who's this article targeting? If you've got a luxury property, is now the time to sell. Is now the time to make sure you'll get above reserve. Melbourne home values have also held up reasonably well during the worst of the pandemic, with CoreLogic finding about 30,000 has been wiped from the house and unit market since April, well below the initial doomsday predictions of $100,000. Well, because the market hasn't been allowed to adjust. All these interventions are in place. CoreLogic head of research Tim Lawless tipped the city to record its first price rise in 7 months as early as this month, noting while listings were starting to increase, the rate of absorption has been really healthy. Mr. Watson added, unknowns loomed over the market next year, with JobKeeper and JobSeeker to be wound back in March, mortgage holidays still keeping many borrowers afloat, Victoria's unemployment rate soaring to 15% in September, and international borders remaining shut. Yeah, there are a whole lot of unknowns. I mean, think about it. Okay, say you sell your property now. You sell it now and you get that 700,000 above reserve. But then we just start getting more and more government stimulus. More and more stimulus. More money flooding the market. What's going to happen, everyone? Can there be a point where, well, keeping your wealth in property may be better than having it in cash? Or maybe you sell here and then you buy somewhere else a bit more sensible. Maybe you sell and you buy 3 or 4 dodgy places around to rent out to people that you know are going to still be receiving government support. Love it or listed co-host Andrew Winter. See, look at this. I mean, the fact that this even exists, it just shows you how property obsessed we're here in Australia, guys. It's just an obsession. This place sold for $1.1 million. 260 above reserve. I mean, you're paying for the land. It's a nice little bricky. With a chimney. I wonder if the chimney still works. Nothing wrong with it. At least you don't have to paint it. So, advise those selling to leave Melbourne to do so now while the market is on a high with very low stock levels and things selling quickly. So if you want to be one of the Victorians that want to get out of Victoria, they're telling you now's the time to sell. So is this a dead cat bounce? Will the market correct? But for homeowners thinking of upsizing or downsizing within the same market, the current conditions were a little bit irrelevant, creating less urgency. Daryl and Mandy Wilson are preparing to list their 3-bedroom Nunawading home later this year. I'm sure I buggered that up. Mr. Wilson said they'd been keen to list before the end of 2020 to capitalise on the pent-up buyer demand from Melbourne's lockdown. There isn't much stock on the market, and I'm hoping people will be quite keen with interest rates so low to try to buy something before Christmas, he said. We also want to know next year we can focus on looking for a new house on the Mornington Peninsula. The Kent Street property they've called home for 3.5 years is set to be auctioned in December with a $730 to $780 price guide. So, I mean, it's just the smart way to do it. Sell now while there's a little peak, a bump, a demand, and then wait until next year once mortgage holidays. I keep saying mortgage keeper. I'm worried it's going to become a real thing, everyone. Sell now. Take advantage of the low competition or low level of people selling, and then buy next year once all these support mechanisms have been removed. Could that be the plan? But the big unknowns are, what will the government do? What else can they do? What will they do to jack up the property bubble? Is now the time to jump out? That's the hardest thing in a market, is picking the top or the bottom. It's a challenge. Do you think you can do it? What do you reckon, everyone? What do you think about the advice here? So at least they're talking about a little bit more reasonable for their house. $800,000. They're obviously doing the repairs to try and let it go. We'll have to see. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Do you think this is a good strategy? Sell now and buy in later? Or do you think it's just going to keep going up like magic? And the government's going to do whatever they can to fuel this bubble? Or do people just want to get out of Melbourne, get away from Victoria? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Aussie Broadband. You can buy merch from the Teespring shop below, or the pocket squares that Rachel makes, and you can see them right behind me. You can find them all on the Heiser Says blog. You can support us using Gold Bars from the Perth Mint or PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.